Hi everyone, and welcome to Working with Mrs. Dickey. Today we're going to be looking at different ways of representing patterns. And there are 4 different ways to represent a pattern. We can model a pattern with pictures or drawings. We can make a graph or a table. We can draw a graph, or we can write a pattern rule. And we're going to investigate each of the following representations today. So we're going to start with the model being given to us. So here you can see the growing pattern. They're making a U shape out of squares, and you can see there's frame 1, which is like term 1, frame 2, frame 3, frame 4. And so we're going to take that model that was created for us and we're going to turn it into a table. So frame numbers are easy. They're given to us. So we have frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, frame 4. And then we can count the number of squares. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares in the first frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the third. And I'm going to guess 8 in this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 in this one. And what we could do is we can create an ordered pair. And what an ordered pair is just 2 numbers that go together as a relationship. And so in this situation, we're going to put the frame number, not hashtag guys. And then we're going to put the number of squares as the second one. So our first ordered pair is going to be 1, 5, because 1's our frame number, 5 is the number of squares. Our next one is 2, 6, 3, 7, 4, 8. And what these ordered pairs mean is that these numbers are connected. One is determined by the other. So that's our first 2 representations. The model is the drawing. A table is organizing what we can see in the drawing in numerical form for us to look at. Okay, and then we can go into drawing a graph. So here's that table that we used in the first one, coming over to this one. So here we're looking at number of squares in a growing pattern. Oh goodness, sorry guys, making a mess here. Oh, switching colors. Okay, so across the bottom we're going to put frame number. Remember to label those axes. There's that x-axis. That's never going to change no matter what pattern we look at, so that's what goes on the bottom. So I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. We can go on to 5, but we don't have it. And then here is going to be number of squares in a pattern. Or not a pattern, in a frame. My apologies, guys and girls. Frame. Okay, so we can start at 0, and I'm going to go up by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, and then we're going to graph those where those ordered pairs come in. So frame 1 has 5, frame 2 has 6, frame 3 has 7, frame 4 has 8, and I'll take a different color. And there we can see we have our nice growing pattern. Okay, so there's our graph form. So now we can see, if you didn't see it originally with the photos, here, we'll go back for a second here. If you can't see it with the photos, you can see that it's steadily growing. Here we can see in this column, they're steadily growing. And here again, we can see that they're steadily growing. Okay, and so the last thing is our pattern rule. So as we know, every pattern rule needs to start with start at. So we're going to start at 5 because that's where it started. And then we're going to add 1 each time. So this is the example that's in your Math Makes Sense workbook. So it's going to ask you to extend patterns. So it's going to give you frame 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and ask you to find, the next couple of frames. It's going to give you a table and get you to write the pattern rule. You can make the models or draw them, create the graph, all those kinds of pieces. So hopefully this helps you because you've looked at all the different ways of representing. If not, you can always contact me at Google Classroom or at P0078359 at pdsb.net.